Okay, guys, I got a serious update for you. You heard me talk about SEMA and the product roadmap radar. I just caught up with Matt, who's the founder there, and he gave me the latest on what they are building. And my mind is blown. The team at SEMA are taking things to the next level. Built around the core of the product roadmap radar, i.e. code and Jira analysis, they are building agent orchestration across the product lifecycle. Picture this. You hook up this system same as before, i.e. integrate your repository and your backlog, Jira today. From that point, SEMA's agent analyzes the codebase and makes suggestions as to what needs to be done next and what could improve, optimize the product. Then, if those tasks are routine, the agent assigns the task to a coding agent, think something like Devin, to complete the minutia, while assigning the human-in-the-loop task to engineers themselves. What you end up with is engineers focusing on building core competency features while AI handles all the rest. If you're not salivating right now, I don't think you fully understand what this means. But here's what I would suggest. Right now, their product is in a closed beta, and SEMA is looking for folks to sign up for their Product Intelligence Advisory Board. This gives you the opportunity to use the product, give feedback, help shape the future of what's built. Oh, and not to mention additional free usage of the product potentially through the end of 2026. So, if that fits your workflow and toolset, you need to reach out today. Go to codestory.co/nextlevel, NEXTLEVEL, and reach out to Matt at SEMA to learn more and join the Product Intelligence Advisory Board. Again, that's codestory.co/nextlevel. This episode is sponsored by Postman. Postman is the world's leading API platform, trusted by 98% of the Fortune 500 and over 40 million developers. Tap into APIs from 18,000 plus companies to power agents that make smarter decisions. Learn more at postman.com/podcast/codestory. This message is sponsored by Melee Search. Today, search isn't just a feature, it's a cornerstone. And Melee Search gives your users the experience they need with lightning-fast performance, full-text search, AI usage, and multimodal capabilities. Melee Search delivers relevant results in less than the blink of an eye. Use the promo code CODESTORY at checkout to get 2 months free at meleesearch.com. That's MEILI search.com. This episode is brought to you by Paddle. Don't settle for less when you can have more, MOR, with Paddle, your merchant of record. Eliminate the headaches of payments, grow your revenue everywhere, and focus on what you do best, building your product. Get more revenue with less hassle at paddle.com. This episode is brought to you by PropelOff. People take authentication for granted, but it's more than how customers log into your product. It's how you manage your relationship with your users. The easiest way to make authentication your advantage is to use PropelOff. PropelOff is more than just functional. It's powerful. With tools like Managed UIs, Enterprise SSO, robust user management features, and actionable insights, PropelOff adapts as your product grows. And the best part? When auth is effortless, your team can focus on scaling, not troubleshooting. That means more releases, happier customers, and more growth for your business. Save dev time, win over your customers, and propel your business forward with PropelOff. Check them out at propeloff.com. That's PROPELAUTH.com.
One day I was late at night coding, doing something, building a feature. I forget exactly what I was doing. My brain was not operating 100%. And so then what I did was I made a typo in one of the database queries. The cardinal rule of engineering is you never make live edits to a production database, but I was doing that. I was making live edits to a production database, and I made a typo in my query to the database and accidentally wiped it out. My stomach kind of sank to the floor when I hit enter on that query, and I realized I made a mistake. After that, it was just this moment. Oh my gosh, what have I done? I am Derek Ting. I'm the founder and CEO of TextNow.
This is Code Story, a podcast bringing you interviews with tech visionaries.
Spent 6 months moonlighting.
There's nothing on the back end.
Who share what it takes to change an industry.
I don't exactly know what to
Took
do next.
many goes to get right.
who built the teams that have their
A
back,
company is its
The
people.
teams help each other achieve
I was
more.
proud of our team.
keeping scalability top of mind.
All that infrastructure was a
Yes,
pain.
we've been fighting it as we grow.
Total waste of time.
The stories you don't read in the headlines.
It's not an easy thing to achieve, mind
Took it
you.
off the shelf and dusted it off and tried it again.
To ride the ups and downs of the startup life.
You need to really want it.
It's not just about technology.
All this and more on Code Story.
I'm your host, Noah Labpark, and today how Derek Ting is democratizing reliable phone service. Because it's not a nice to have, it's a necessity. Derek Ting grew up in Canada land, enjoying all the things of the area, but especially hockey. Nowadays, he's got 2 kids. His oldest son plays hockey, and he and his family enjoys rooting on the Toronto Maple Leafs. When asked about food, he claimed to be one of the lives-to-eat kind of guys, as he loves food. In fact, the more exotic food, the better, but not as far as, like, insects or something. Derek figured out that carriers wanted to charge for texting, on top of the fees he was already paying for his phone and associated services. He found this atrocious, and he wanted to figure out a way to text for free, and eventually have all phone service free. This is the creation story of Text Now.
So Text Now, our mission is to democratize reliable phone service. The way we look at it is phone service is not a nice to have. Phone service is a necessity. And if you think about a phone number, it's actually more important than even your social security number because you literally cannot get by in life without one. Like for example, if you want to get even a doctor's appointment, you can't get one without a phone number. And so our view is phone service, if you can't afford it, they cut you off. The phone companies cut you off. And that's not right. It's a need. So our mission is to democratize reliable phone service. And the way we do that is we have an app called Text Now. You download it. And as soon as you download it, you can pick a phone number, a local phone number. It knows where you are. So it'll give you a phone number with a local area code. And then you have free phone service. It's pretty simple. It's free phone service through an app. And the way we started the company was really just me in college. And I got the first iPhone when it came out. Being a frugal college student, I didn't want to pay for texting. I thought it was a ripoff because AT&T, after paying $20 a month for calling, $20 a month for the data plan, that came with the iPhone, AT&T wanted $20 a month on top of that for texting, and I just didn't want to pay for it. So TextNow first started as an app that I built to not have to pay for texting. And there were apps out there at the time that that are there for texting, but the problem is both sides need to have the app installed for it to work. I just want an app where I can actually just text my friends for free, whether they had like a BlackBerry or any other phone without any other app installed. I just want to be able to just text for free. So that's the birth of Text Now, was like, I just wanted an app that could text people for free. So we launched the app, and to our surprise, a lot of people that downloaded it that were using the app were on iPod Touches. And we're like, that's interesting. Why are so many people using our app on iPod Touches? And when we peel back the onion, we realized a lot of people couldn't even afford the phone plan with AT&T. And so they were buying iPod Touches instead. And then instead of getting a phone plan, they used our app to communicate. And so that's our big aha moment, that it's not just texting we need to make free. It's phone service that we need to make free, because there's a lot of people that need phone service that can't pay for it. And that started our multi-year obsession, figuring out how can we make phone service free.
First off, I'd like to dive into the MVPs, that first version of Text Now, and that was the app, right? With the texting, pieces of it. How long did it take you to build, and what sort of tools were you using to bring it to life?
Yes, so back then, the most interesting part was the iOS SDK. They didn't call it iOS back then. They call it just the iPhone SDK. And that was like a big motivator, actually, to work on this. Is not only did I want to make texting free, but actually, as a college student, I wanted to learn how to build apps, right, on the iPhone. The coolest thing back then, take it for granted now, the coolest thing back then was anyone could build an app and publish it in the App Store. And that was like a new thing. And then you get exposure, right? Apple will expose your app to lots of people. So that's how we started. It's like we built an app, recruited a classmate of mine in my college. So went to college for computer engineering. So recruited a classmate, and we built, I built a hacky prototype. He helped me build the backend to make it work. And then the first problem we had to solve was not only do we have to make the app, but we have to figure out how do we send the messages. And one thing that was really interesting and neat and creative was to send a message for free. We found out that a lot of these carriers had what they call email gateways. So what that means is for every phone number they have, actually there's an email associated with it that you can send an email to, and the email will come in as a text. So for example, if your phone number was 12345678990 and you're with AT&T, you can actually send an email to 12345678990 at txt.att.net. That will come into your phone as a text. So we were using that as a way to text for free. So for a while I was using my email client to send text messages for free. But then that was clunky. So then we decided to make an app to make that process visible to the user. And you can it looks like a text messaging app, but in the background, it was sending these emails to people's email addresses that are phone numbers that would convert into text. And that's the V1 of text now. And actually the V1, like the real V1 actually was the one that I built without any help. That you could only send messages. You couldn't receive messages. And then when people actually downloaded it, they're like, oh, wow, it worked. Can't receive messages. That's when I knew, okay, I got to build the receiving feature. And the receiving feature is way more work. So that's why I recruited a college classmate of mine.
Okay, guys, I got a serious update for you. You heard me talk about SEMA and the product roadmap radar. I just caught up with Matt, who's the founder there, and he gave me the latest on what they are building. And my mind is blown. The team at SEMA are taking things to the next level. Built around the core of the product roadmap radar, i.e. code and Jira analysis, they are building agent orchestration across the product lifecycle. Picture this. You hook up this system same as before, i.e. integrate your repository and your backlog, Jira today. From that point, SEMA's agent analyzes the codebase and makes suggestions as to what needs to be done next and what could improve, optimize the product. Then, if those tasks are routine, the agent assigns the task to a coding agent, think something like Devin, to complete the minutia, while assigning the human-in-the-loop task to engineers themselves. What you end up with is engineers focusing on building core competency features, while AI handles all the rest. If you're not salivating right now, I don't think you fully understand what this means. But here's what I would suggest. Right now, their product is in a closed beta, and SEMA is looking for folks to sign up for their Product Intelligence Advisory Board. This gives you the opportunity to use the product, give feedback, help shape the future of what's built. Oh, and not to mention additional free usage of the product, potentially through the end of 2026. So, if that fits your workflow and toolset, you need to reach out today. Go to codestory.co/nextlevel, NEXTLEVEL, and reach out to Matt at SEMA to learn more and join the Product Intelligence Advisory Board. Again, that's codestory.co/nextlevel. This episode is brought to you by Paddle. As a startup, you face unique challenges to stay competitive. You and your team need to stay focused on your product, not your payments. You need to do more, MOR, and DIY less. With Paddle. Paddle is your merchant of record, becoming the seller of record for your SaaS transactions, enabling your team to focus on what's important, your product. Paddle handles all payment management across multiple gateways and methods, taking ownership of tax liability while remaining compliant with regulations across all markets. The platform handles all aspects of SaaS billing models, upgrades, add-on, trials, and more. Let's look at the results. MOR revenue optimization is built into Paddle and accounts for up to 16% higher conversion rates, reduced payment failures, localized pricing, and churn prevention, recovering 40% of cancellations. Their developer-friendly tools are API first with comprehensive documentation, removing the burden from your engineers. With Paddle as your merchant of record, you'll generate more revenue, find and keep more customers, grow faster, and stay compliant everywhere. So what are you waiting for? Get more revenue with less hassle at paddle.com. This episode is brought to you by Paddle. As a startup, you face unique challenges to stay competitive. You and your team need to stay focused on your product, not your payments. You need to do more, MOR, and DIY less. With Paddle. Paddle is your merchant of record, becoming the seller of record for your SaaS transactions, enabling your team to focus on what's important, your product. Paddle handles all payment management across multiple gateways and methods, taking ownership of tax liability while remaining compliant with regulations across all markets. The platform handles all aspects of SaaS billing models, upgrades, add-on, trials, and more. Let's look at the results. MOR revenue optimization is built into Paddle and accounts for up to 16% higher conversion rates, reduced payment failures, localized pricing, and churn prevention, recovering 40% of cancellations. Their developer-friendly tools are API first with comprehensive documentation, removing the burden from your engineers. With Paddle as your merchant of record, you'll generate more revenue, find and keep more customers, grow faster, and stay compliant everywhere. So what are you waiting for? Get more revenue with less hassle at paddle.com. Let's move forward then. How did you progress and mature it from that point? And to kind of wrap that in a box a little bit, I'm curious about roadmap. Like, how did you go about deciding that, okay, this is the next most important thing to build or to address with TextNow?
Yeah, I think it was obvious at the time, okay, like sending messages work, receiving messages didn't work. Okay, let's build that. And then obviously with software, when you build something, it always doesn't work quite right the first time. A lot of time it's just like fixing glitches. And then another thing too is once your software is in people's hands, people tell you what they like or not like about it. And in that, there's noise and then there's signal. And usually it's when you have signal, when you can't find a pattern, when a lot of people are saying something similar, and then you know that it's a problem that we need to fix. So for example, maybe there's a UI feature that's not super intuitive, so we may have to fix the UI. Or maybe it's like, hey, the app, at the time we priced the app to be $5, which we thought was really good value because you instead of pay $20 a month, you pay $5 one time. But then a lot of people are like, hey, like that's too expensive. So then sometimes it's like you don't even have to build anything. It's just maybe testing the pricing. So really it's all about just finding the signal through the noise and then picking the strongest signal and then working on that. And that's kind of how it was in the beginning. There wasn't like a multi-year roadmap. It was just like focusing on the most important thing at the time and then moving to the next thing.
So that makes sense. I'm curious about team, right? You got to have the right team to help you move the needle. And I heard you talk about recruiting a classmate. I'm curious about what you look for in people to indicate that they're the winning horses to join you.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, it was just a matter of finding someone that is passionate about the problem that's being solved. And so finding the classmate that also didn't want to take the safe route to go work at the Googles of the world and take a chance on building something cool. I think that's the first filter to find a good match because it's not like a side project, right? It's a commitment. So back then it's just like making sure you're finding someone that has like good alignment, that they want to commit to this and not cop out and be like, oh, you know what? This is hard. I need to go find a job, normal job. So that's what made this such a good fit with the classmate I recruited, and he became a co-founder. And then the other thing is just like skills. So he was damn good engineer, way better than me. I think that was the other thing. So that's how we made a really great team in the beginning. I was good at figuring out kind of less technical stuff and working on the front end, and he was great at working on the back end, all the technical stuff. And as we grew, eventually it started working for maybe, it worked well maybe for 1,000 people, but then as we grew, You put 10,000 people on it, you put 100,000 people on it, then you find out it stops working because it can't handle the load. And that became a technical problem we needed to solve in terms of like, how can we scale our backend to support more people as we grew. And he was instrumental in help figure out that technical problem of how to do that. I remember the first year we were a business, we saw a huge spike of traffic during Christmas morning because everyone was opening their iPod touches for Christmas, and it totally crashed our servers. I remember working with him basically the entire holidays, pulling all-nighters trying to get our service back up. So that's like that's commitment, and you need someone really passionate to make that kind of commitment. So I think that would be like the first filter, and the second filter, just the chops, the technical chops, or whatever skill.
This episode is brought to you by Propel Off. People take authentication for granted, but it's more than how customers log into your product. It's how you manage your relationship with your users. The easiest way to make authentication your advantage is to use Propel Auth. Propel Auth is more than just functional. It's powerful. With tools like Managed UIs, Enterprise SSO, robust user management features, and actionable insights, Propel Auth adapts as your product grows. And the best part? When auth is effortless, your team can focus on scaling, not troubleshooting. That means more releases, happier customers, and more growth for your business. Save dev time, win over your customers, and propel your business forward with Propel Auth. Check them out at propelauth.com. That's propelauth.com. This episode is sponsored by Search. In today's digital landscape, search isn't just a feature, it's a cornerstone, and you need a user experience that drives customer satisfaction. You need Search. Search has lightning-fast performance, returning answers in less than 50 milliseconds. Yeah, you heard that right. Faster than the blink of an eye. The open-source AI search engine is plug-and-play, so you can get up and running in minutes with smart presets, allowing you to start searching through your data with zero configuration. Search utilizes advanced full-text search and AI, ensuring your results are ultra-relevant with semantic depth. It's multimodal, supporting images, videos, and audio, along with being federated, i.e. searching across multiple data sources. And it's developer-friendly. Whether you're building a content-rich website or enterprise application, Search delivers the experience your users expect and deserve. For a limited time, CodeStory users can get 2 months free. Use the promo code CODESTORY, all one word, at checkout. Just go to melisearch.com and get started today. That's MEILI search.com. So I'm curious about scalability, and you touched on your servers, crashing at some point. I'm curious about those scaling approaches, right? So how you approach scaling in the early days, which is totally different than later days. And I'm curious if there's been interesting stories you can tell about where you've had to fight scale as you've grown.
As we grow, not only there's technical scaling problems, there's people scaling problems. And I think it's evergreen problem is when you have an organization with multiple people, with a lot of people, keeping everyone on the same page and keeping everyone aligned, moving in the same direction it becomes like a constant problem. And that good communication, good alignment, all that comes into play. Yeah, I would just say like that's been a journey as well on its own. Is every growth spurt, whenever we bring people in, it's a people problem of like, how can we ramp them up? How can we introduce them to our company values? How can we integrate everyone onto the team and then make everything work nicely?
So as you step out on the balcony and you look across all that you've built with Text now thus far, what are you most proud of?
I think we're most proud of, the team we built. I think we're proud of the impact we've made. And I think the coolest thing is actually just being able to see real customers use our product and then hear stories of how we've made difference in their lives. So I think like just seeing concrete examples of folks that like, hey, I was in a tough situation. Couldn't afford phone service, and then being able to access it. And then they were able to use our tool to improve their situation in life. And then getting a video recording of them telling us that, I think that's the most rewarding thing. That's the thing that we're most proud of, is that we're doing this to millions of people. And I think that's yeah, I think again, there's a lot of great things we've done. We built a great team, we built a great product. There's a lot of technical challenges we've solved. There's all that to be proud of. But I think the most proud thing that I'm proud of is being able to see real people in the market that we're making a difference to. Or even like when I wear my t-shirt that says Text Now on it, sometimes people recognize, hey, I used this app before and this app really saved me. So that's the most rewarding thing for any entrepreneur, to see real people use product and service and benefit from it.
Okay, let's flip the script a little bit. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you and your team responded to it.
So I would say the one that stands out is, this was before I recruited my co-founder. So this was just back when it was just me. One day I was like late at night coding, doing something, building a feature. I forget exactly what I was doing. I was too tired. In hindsight, should have gotten some rest because my brain was not operating 100%. And so then what I did was I made a typo in one of the database queries that I was making. And the cardinal rule of engineering is like you never make live edits to a production database, but I was doing that. I was making live edits to a production database, and I made a typo in my query to the database and accidentally wiped it out. My stomach kind of like sank to the floor, and like when I hit enter on that query and I realized I made the mistake. After that, it was just this moment of, oh my gosh, what have I done? So much work I've just destroyed by a typo. A lot of emotions as well. And then basically 5 minutes later, I was like, oh crap, how do I fix it? How do I fix it? Because all that, you can't undo that. There's no there's no control Z to undo that. I wish there was. I had to write a script that would go through these log files. So, every time someone does something on our service, it would like log that action into a file. What I did was I wrote a script and went through these log files, and then it was like a gruesome process because there was so much of them. And so one by one, I like wrote a program to go through them and rebuild database that way. And so basically, I think that was basically an all-nighter. And by the way, like I was still in college at the time. So I was basically yawning in class, like not even listening to the lecture, just doing that the whole time. And everyone around me was like, what the hell is that guy doing? So that was a learning moment, I would say. Always have backups.
Let's move forward into the future then. What does the future look like for Text Now, for what you offer, for what you're going to offer, for your team, the whole thing?
So right now, what we offer for free is free talk and text. So you download our app, you get free talk and text. And if you don't have service on your phone, so then Text Now is your service. And you can use it on your existing Wi-Fi connection. And if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, when you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, then we actually have this thing called SIM card the Text Now SIM card, where you can just pay for shipping. It's like $5 for shipping, and we ship you the SIM card. Then our app works even without Wi-Fi. It works on the cellular network as well. And right now, if you want to actually like also have internet outside of Wi-Fi. So for example, like if you want to have data plans and stuff, that's currently not free. It's add-on you have to pay for. And then we do have a basic free data plan where you can use our app and a few other apps for free, like email, maps, rideshare. And so our biggest goal right now is to figure out how can we give people some form of we've given people some form of free data plan, but we want to expand on the free data plan. We want to get a better free data plan. And also we want to not have people need to pay for shipping to get the SIM card. So we're just figuring out that economic problem as well and how we can make that part as low cost as possible or almost free. And then that is our ethos of our company is there's a lot of things that we have made free already. And then there's things that aren't free yet. And for the things that aren't free yet, we're working hard to make them cost less or free. And a lot of other companies figure out ways to charge people more for something. We work hard to charge people less.
Let's switch to you, Derek. Who influences the way that you work? Name a person or many persons or something you look up to and why.
I think one of the things that is really important about kind of the journey of the company. And the journey for me is the value of just staying true to ourselves and who we are. I think there's been a lot of times where we feel the pressure, and even myself personally, we feel the pressure to like do what other companies are doing, do what other quote unquote great entrepreneurs are doing and follow their footsteps. And then eventually it doesn't feel quite right because we haven't stayed true to ourselves. I'm stayed true to myself, and then it actually slows us down. So one example is a lot of people have told me, hey, Derek, you need to raise lots of money and grow really fast. If you don't, that's not good. You have to grow fast, raise a lot of money, shoot for the fences. And we do want to grow fast, but it's just the way everyone does it is not the way that feels right to me. We always have our own unique, quirky approach to things. And every time we've not honored that and gone with what someone else says is best business practice, it just doesn't work out. And so I guess this is my short way of saying that I listen to my gut. And when I do, that's worked out really well. And when I haven't, it hasn't worked out well. So while there's a lot of like awesome entrepreneurs I respect, the voice that I respect the most is the voice in my head, in my gut.
Cool. Well, Derek, last question. So you're getting on a plane and you're sitting next to a young entrepreneur who's built the next big thing. They're jazzed about it. They can't wait to show it off to the world and can't wait to show it off to you right there on the plane. What advice do you give that person, having gone down this road a bit?
Similar to my last thing that I said, it's like I could give them all the advice in the world, and what worked for me will work for anyone else, and what works for them might not work for me. And obviously there's a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of learnings to share, and I think we're all living in a community and we don't have to learn the same mistakes multiple times. But I guess at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Everyone's on their own journey. And it's not my place to tell someone else how to run their business. But I guess my advice would be the same thing. It's like follow their founder instinct. And then also, I think one general advice I could also give is I think grit and persistent is the common thing that will prevail at the end of the day. I think that is a universal thing. But other than that, I think for any founder, it's like they gotta just trust their own founder instinct. And there'll be a lot of noises with like venture capitalists, advisors, all these people that think they have great advice to give, but really it's the founder that knows.
I think that's fantastic advice. Well, Derek, thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for telling the creation story of Text Now.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And this concludes another chapter of Code Story. Code Story is hosted and produced by Noah Labhart. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcasting app of your choice. And when you get a chance, leave us a review. Both things help us out tremendously. And thanks again for listening.
No one knows your business better than you. So who better to create your website than, well, you? Wix's website builder puts it all in your hands. Create a beautiful website just by talking with AI, or choosing from thousands of templates. Customize every detail with simple drag and drop tools and get everything you need to start running business your way. Build more, think bigger, and do it all yourself on Wix. Go to Wix.com.
Running a business means checking a lot of boxes.
Let's see. Payroll? Check. Inventory? Check. Insurance?
Good thing Simply Business makes getting small business insurance fast and easy. Check insurance off your list at simplybusiness.com.
When it comes to home insurance, Geico works for you. And since I'm the Geico Gecko, I work for you too.
Hey, Gecko, could you DJ my workout?
I got you, Derek. I know you like them sweet beats on leg day. Great home gym, by the way.
That's fire, Gecko.
I call this remix, bundle your home and car insurance so you can save and get coverage that grows with you.
Oh yeah, rolls right off the tongue. And you know what else I like? Air horn!
Oh, yeah! Let Geico work for you. Get more with Geico.